to invite now Esmeralda and Gert, the directors of the film, to join the stage. Thank you. Eu gostaria de convidar também agora a delegação Kayapó, Raoni, Megaron, Pachon e Beptuk para se juntarem também aqui ao palco. I would like to invite also the delegation of Kayapó indigenous leaders. They're here today to join us on stage. If you would like to, of course. I would also like to invite Sue Cunningham, who is a long-standing friend of all the indigenous peoples of Brazil, who is going to help us with the translation. Thank you. So now Chief Raoni and Megaron are going to deliver a message to us all.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for being here, and I'm so pleased to be with you at this event.
No, me pumu, amlari pumu, ba. Ima mekute moyo bike ima ke manamri magi ke kumane. Neba me abeku ben me bengo kole moika ben. Me bengo kole moika ben. Neba me bengo kole kuda ben pali no kam me makati ku me game ona ben pali ke ku me go baju mari me moya punu ne me ba kuga maro ba no mo me man anetania.
I was always against bad things happening, whether in the forest or the rest of the world. I've always fought against these bad things. Conflicts, especially, wars, when people fight each other. So I try very hard to tell my people not to be angry with white people, and we really would like it if non-Indigenous peoples would equally respect our wishes of peace. My people, when I was young, used to war one lot with the other, one group of people with another, or even in the same tribe. And now I ask my people, please don't fight.
Mana me aben kangul kene kuma benya be aben o ombi wa kumene ka jine ba ika benya amol me yo kini kuni ko ba ane ari benya juwalo ma ane yomo meimo me umari meika Amerika kine me umari meika akuru meine me umari meika on mei tamnia amene be me ba kuka mo me kuka mo me ane me aben balibin ma ibe ba ne ba kranta orlando me krau yori ima kajaga or kranta bagam kranta tamnia.
Ever since I've become chief, I've tried very hard to eat well, for our families to live well, to enjoy the forest well and healthy. And many, many years ago, Orlando and Claudio Villas Boas taught us to talk to each other and not to fight anymore, because they realized that there were threats.
Take it back.
Temnia, ba me mane ka me ma. Yaka, a pui menyo kri. Nega me, mu me pe ka je me ma pio, ene je me ka, o me ka ngonyo mo. Nere ba ku ni ko ta. Me pe o kre, hinge, me ko atu ne me. Bra jila kan ba ku te wa Kube, oh, Yulune, make a Kutamin, Kane me kuka mo making it. But did I come back to what?
I am very aware that a lot of money is sent from England and other countries in Europe to Brazil to non-indigenous people who, a lot of them are destroying the forest in different ways, and that really has to stop. Brazil was a land of indigenous peoples before Europeans landed there, and we want those indigenous peoples to have, that still survive, to have their land back.
Tamnia, Babia Mare. Mara Gayagame Yaka maybe as well. Mare could have been called back a bene Marco Tepora Jota Gumeko Ta Great May Neba Mea Mare. Ia ne me mo me vengo con el cangoñote. Mara cum sonaro un marichaco ne me vengo con el cangoño one. Que me go tu aro puta bon me ka mai man tu ani creo que me aben marika to no mo maro ane naramane tanea.
I have to tell you, people who are white, who live in Europe, that please, you must understand there is something called the Marco Temporal in Brazil, which is really a huge threat to indigenous peoples.
São pessoas que seguem Bolsonaro.
Oh, yeah. And it seems that the people who are misusing money in Brazil were all Bolsonaro followers of Bolsonaro, sorry.
No, Tania, Mara, ya peine, Manoni, mea kuni, umari mea ikaju. Tania, ma mea mo, presidente Fonayane, Urura mene bari, Aria Nyuru, you kubit. President Fonai, cái giờ mẹ ăn cốt cá ngon có phiêu mẹ cái mẹ cốt cá ngon ta này à, nếu bữa mẹ mà đâu mà này mẹ vậy mà đi mà, nè ý giờ phải cái mẹ rồi mà nó chỉ tụt cái này tao chua nhà ấy, chỉ tụt cái mà phải, cái giờ mẹ cái yêu cô mà nó phiêu mẹ cái chữ mẹ mana meia mi pugaya ka pumui ka jutane no mama maro anen mea manen aro ika benoi no re mea kuni o tu mea kambiki mea manen amukuru mea manen aro ika bena peitane.
I really want to emphasize the importance of working together for a better world.
Eu quero apresentar a presidente da FUNAI, que nós apoiamos junto com o Lula para ela ser presidente. Está aqui.
So the indigenous peoples were very happy to support Joênia Wapichana, who is our president of Indigenous FUNAI in Brazil.
Também.
Levanta.
Fala no microfone, porque...
Ah, não?
Também quero apresentar o meu neto do Instituto Raoni, também está aqui. Ó.
And also my grandson, Beptuk, who is also an administrator of Instituto Raoni. It's the new generation taking everything forward.
Se tiver qualquer apoio, apoia ele e ela.
So this is the force of the future. Joênia and Beptuk, definitely.
Yaka me vego kare Meg bingo ko ya ka ba ju ka me ika ben ko me a via que me moro ya ka moro ka umari me ka ju ba ayu ju me amane ya bi tania.
I also want to remind everybody that there are indigenous peoples all over the world, even in Europe, and that we all have to stand together. And peace is the one word. So that's all I have to say, and thank you very much.
Boa noite, eu me chamo Megaron, sou sobrinho do cacique Raoni.
Good evening. I'm Haoni's nephew. Thank you. Okay, that's easy.
Quero falar só um pouquinho.
I only want to say a few words.
Tudo que vocês viram, já lideranças, caciques já falaram aqui no filme.
Everything that the chiefs from different villages have said, you saw that in the film. They said it all already.
Todo problema que eles falaram, já falaram. Então, eu não vou repetir tudo que meus parentes, os presidentes, todos falaram do nosso problema aqui no filme.
So the film actually demonstrated and showed everybody all the problems that are being developed around the Amazon. And so I'm not going to repeat what you've seen in the film.
Então, é isso o problema que nós estamos enfrentando lá no Brasil.
So that's the reality in the Amazon today.
Ameaça de tomar nossa terra, do marco temporal. Então, tudo isso, os indígenas estão sendo ameaçados, por causa desse marco temporal.
We are being threatened really by the marco temporal.
Então, é isso que eu tenho para falar, porque todos já falaram do nosso problema no Brasil.
And that's all that I really have to say. We have these threats and we need to face them and we need to fight them together.
Só quero agradecer a todos vocês que tiveram paciência de escutar meu tio, ver o filme, o problema que está acontecendo lá no Brasil. Obrigado pela presença aqui conosco
Thank you
hoje.
for all of you having the patience to watch the film, to listen to my uncle, and welcome. Thank you.
Maikamani, muito obrigada pelas palavras. Thank you very much. If we could all give us a round of applause to our guest speakers. Thank you. So now I would like to invite our guest speakers to join the panel. Please, could you join us on stage, Jojo Mehta, Alessandra Sampaio, Mindahi Batista, and Joênia Wapichana. Thank you. So just to begin, I just want to remind you all that this film will be released in the autumn as part of this international impact tour that being co-orchestrated by Planet Amazon, the Leopold III Fund, and Stop Ecocide International. So to talk a little bit about the plans for this impact tour, I'll invite Gert now, who is a co-director and co-producer of the film, who is also a founder of Planet Amazon and a co-founder of the Alliance of Guardians of Mother Nature. So over to you, Gert.
Hello again. So I'll do fast because this is a long night, long evening. I just want to explain to you that it doesn't stop here at all. We want to, of course, to bring that film in the world, and we want to create an impact campaign, and I will present that very quickly for you. Can we have a next slide, please? Okay. The main goals of our tour would be to facilitate the demarcation and securing of all indigenous territories in Brazil. You've seen the issue in the film. That's really important, where we have to bring that in negotiation space, we have to bring that in the public. That's the main focus we want to have for that tour. We also want to facilitate the recognition of ecocide as a fifth crime against peace by the International Criminal Court. But Jojo here will talk more about this later from Stop Ecocide. Next slide, please. So we have 4 focuses for the tour that we are preparing. So the first one would be education, training and youth. Second one would be national, international politics and diplomacy. The third one would be public opinion and the media. And the fourth would be strengthening indigenous culture and their institution. So next slide, please. So that's more or less what we want to achieve, where we want to go. The tour will start in October in South America, Brazil and Colombia. You know that COP16 biodiversity one is going to happen in Colombia this year. So we want to go there and launch the campaign there. And November, December, we'll be touring in Europe. And then March, April 2025, North America. And phase 3 of the tour will have COP30 as a target. And we wish to bring to Brazil a delegation of young people, European people, and propose that they can meet young indigenous leaders in the villages, and then they can exchange, work together, construct a diplomacy that they can then bring at COP30, and they can do their own film. This is what we want to facilitate as well. And then, of course, we will be at COP30 in November 2025. Next slide, please. So that's the main organizer of the tour that we are constructing, Planet Amazon, which I'm the founder, Stop Ecocide International, which Jojo is the co-founder, yeah. And the Leopold Free Foundation, which Esmeralda is the president. Next slide, please. So that's the way to thank, of course, the partners of the film. We have the 3 organizations that we have already said, and we have Greenpeace International, Fondation Prince Albert II de Monaco, and Synchronicity Earth. Next slide, please. That's a way to contribute to the tour, meaning that we don't ask you to donate. We propose you to be partner of the tour, to contribute to the tour, and we have some rewards on offer. For instance, you can have your name included in the end credits of the film. There are many other proposals. I just invite you to scan that QR code for the one interested to know more about the tour. And if you don't have the time to do it now, we have the QR codes left to the stage. Do you see them? Yeah. So that's the concrete way to be part of a tour, to know more. I'm not going to talk for more 30 minutes, but if you want more information, go to the website. You have a presentation, a slide, and of course, you can contact us, join us, be a partner. I think that's it now. And that was quite short, no?
Thank you, Gerd. That was perfect. Short and punchy. Perfect. So now I would like to introduce our guest speakers before our panel, and we will have a question for each of the speakers, and then if we do have time, we open questions for you, but it's likely that we're going to be short on time. So first, I would like to introduce Her Royal Highness Esmeralda of Belgium, who is a journalist, speaker, and author. Then Jojo Mehta, who is the co-founder of Stop Ecocide International. She's also the executive director. She founded alongside the late Polly Higgins to support the recognition of ecocide, which is the mass damage and destruction of nature as a crime before the International Criminal Court. Then I would like to also welcome Alessandra Sampaio Phillips. Alessandra is the wife of the British journalist Dom Phillips, who was murdered in the Javari region in Brazil in June 2022. She has just launched the Dom Phillips Institute, a charity that will continue the work that Dom started in the Amazon, and it will be an educational resource about protecting and sustaining the Amazon rainforest. Then I would like to welcome Joênia Wapichana, who did become the first indigenous lawyer in Brazil, and then also the first indigenous elected to the Congress. Indigenous woman. I'm sorry. She's also now the first ever indigenous person and woman to be the president of FUNAI. FUNAI is Brazil's indigenous body organization that leads all the affairs in indigenous rights in Brazil. Also, Mindahi Bastida. Mindahi is a guardian of the philosophy and the traditions of the Yotomi people in Mexico that we heard earlier on. Mindahi is also the founding member of the Alliance of Mother Nature's Guardians, a movement of indigenous peoples and their allies across the globe. So, thank you all for coming here today and speaking to us. So I will start with you, Esmeralda. I start with a question for you. So this film clearly represents a really strong personal journey for you and for your family. Can you tell us how you discovered the importance of indigenous cultures and why it's so important that we here in the UK and in Europe understand them in this day and age?
Thank you, Belle. Well, I think you saw in the film why I got involved with Brazil, with indigenous people. My father was there in '64, so when I was a child, I heard all the story, not only to preserve nature, but to preserve indigenous rights and culture. And what you saw, which was so difficult at the start, is still difficult today. So it's mainly a question of human rights, because it's their land and we have to protect it. And of course, it's also a question of biodiversity for all of us, for generation of the future. We need to work all together, and especially indigenous people must be more represented in all the negotiation, in all the decision for climate, for biodiversity, for their land.
Thank you. Now a question for you, Jojo. The film clearly talks about what it means ecocide. Could you explain a little bit more to us what that means and why it's so important, particularly in the context of the Amazon?
Absolutely. So, I mean, as we know and as has been expressed tonight, the indigenous are the best guardians globally of the biodiversity of this earth. And that is because they have such a deep relationship with nature, but also this deep understanding of the reciprocity with nature that is something that Mindahi mentioned in his opening ceremony as well. And so there's this very profound understanding that when we damage nature, when we damage Mother Earth, there are consequences. That's a physical fact, it's a scientific fact, and of course it's also a spiritual fact. But it's not yet reflected in our legal reality globally. And that is what ecocide law aims to do, is to effectively say that mass damage, the worst harms to nature, should be crimes. And this can support indigenous peoples in the Amazon in a number of ways. Firstly, by providing an additional legal tool for protection, but also to directly support, as I mentioned briefly in the film, land defenders. And that is because there's something very powerful about changing that narrative, about instead of accusing those who are standing up to defend the earth of interrupting legitimate business activity, instead showing the criminality where it really is, which is in the destruction of the earth. And that switch of focus is hugely, hugely powerful. There's also a reinforcement there of existing laws that are currently being ignored, but when a serious crime comes into play, then that level of deterrence, that level of understanding of seriousness shifts. And finally, and perhaps most in a most long-term way, there's a way that it also shifts our whole cultural mindset. Because when we place ecocide alongside crimes against humanity, genocide, war crimes, as one of the most serious crimes, as we know it is in terms of the consequences that flow from it, that actually shifts our understanding of our responsibility to the earth. And we are seeing this legal direction of travel become rapidly established, and including in Brazil, there have been proposals of ecocide law moving forward in various parliaments, and recently we've seen also the European Union pass a directive to address conduct comparable to ecocide. And now that question needs to go also to the International Criminal Court so that there's a full global addressing of that issue. So that's going to shift policy and industry. It's going to shift cultural attitudes and, of course, fundamentally protect the living world. Thank you.
Thank you, Jojo. Agora uma pergunta para a Alessandra. I will do in Portuguese and then I'll translate. Alessandra, depois do assassinato do seu marido Dom Phillips e Bruno Pereira, o mundo inteiro descobriu o que estava acontecendo na Amazônia e a violência que está acontecendo lá. Você poderia contar para a gente um pouco do seu trabalho agora com o Instituto e por que você acha que a demarcação de terras indígenas é uma parte tão fundamental desse processo de proteção dos direitos dos povos? Alessandra, I was just saying that after the murder of her husband, Dom Phillips, and the journalist Bruno Pereira in the Amazon, the whole world suddenly understood and listened to what was happening on the ground and the violence that is still happening in so many parts of the Amazon. So I'm asking Alessandra to tell us a bit about her work now, continuing the work that Dom started, creating the Institute, and how the demarcation of indigenous lands is such a key part of the solution.
Conectando muito com o filme, para mim, em primeiro lugar, o Dom e o Bruno se tornaram um espírito da floresta, né? E agora eu sou considerada parente dos povos indígenas, então eu tenho a responsabilidade não só sobre o legado do Dom, como também de proteger e de estar junto com os povos indígenas aí nesse movimento de proteção do bioma e deles, dos territórios, da demarcação, que é super importante, e estar juntos com eles.
Yes, I'll translate. Thank you, Alessandra. So Alessandra is saying that after Dom and Bruno died, they have become spirits of the forest, and she's now become part of the family of some of the indigenous peoples who live there. So she feels really personal and committed to the cause of the indigenous peoples, and we have to work together to support their rights and their livelihoods.
E uma outra questão que eu acho muito importante é não ficar parada, não ficar estagnada na dor e na frustração da morte, da violência que aconteceu. Então, a gente quer seguir com um movimento de conscientização pelo lado educacional.
She's saying that it's really important that we don't get stagnated and stopped by the sadness of the death. It's really important for her to turn this into a positive force to create change on the ground.
E eu acho que todos nós somos responsáveis, não só brasileiros, não só o governo brasileiro, mas todos nós temos que nos engajar nesse movimento de proteção dos biomas, dos povos amazônicos e, especialmente, mudar nossa mentalidade. O Instituto, através do primeiro projeto Amazônia Sua Linda, quer focar na educação também, especialmente dos jovens, das jovens lideranças.
Thanks. I'm going to try. It's a long one. Alessandra was saying how important it is to, not just for us Brazilians, but all of us here, to be part of this journey of working together, and she sees education as a really important part of the process, so working with young people in the Amazon to change their own realities.
E eu gostaria de agradecer a oportunidade, dizer que é bem importante estar junto com os indígenas e com outras comunidades tradicionais, e a gente vai seguir adiante aí, tentando fazer parcerias ao redor do mundo, especialmente aqui no Reino Unido.
Yeah, she's saying that is really first thanking for the invites for her to be here. She said it's really important and holding hands with Joenia to be working hand in hand with the indigenous peoples. And she's also saying we're here with the new institute, open to new partnerships, new opportunities, and keen to continue this conversation because there's a lot of work to do.
E vocês podem encontrar informações sobre o Instituto Dom Phillips na internet.
And you can find more information about the Dom Phillips Institute in the internet, online.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Agora uma pergunta para você, Joenia. Como foi dito no filme, o presidente Lula se comprometeu a demarcar todas as áreas indígenas no Brasil até o fim do seu mandato. Você acha que ele vai suceder, vai conseguir fazer isso? Você vai conseguir fazer isso como um presidente da FUNAI? E como que a comunidade internacional e nós todos aqui podemos te ajudar nessa tarefa? So just asking, we saw in the film, that President Lula vowed to demarcate all indigenous lands in Brazil until the end of his mandate. So the question is, do you think he will succeed? Would you succeed? And what help us all here can provide to support you in that challenge?
Vou responder em português para ser mais rápida. O nosso governo mudou está com 1 ano e meio, um governo mais progressista e de compromisso.
She's just saying that we changed the government, we've got a new government now who is more progressive and committed to those issues.
O presidente Lula, ele está reconstruindo o nosso país e, para muitas vezes, é mais fácil destruir do que reconstruir.
President Lula is now rebuilding our country, and many times in the past we know that it's been easier to destroy than to rebuild, to construct.
Nosso primeiro ano de governo foi marcado com muitas emergências, tal como nós vimos na terra indígena Yanomami. Isso ainda continua emergência.
So she's saying that in the first year of the government, they faced with a lot of emergencies. So, for example, in the Yanomami indigenous lands, they had to really go and sort of put out the fire in so many parts of Brazil. So they're still dealing with a lot of emergencies.
Pela FUNAI, da mesma forma, quando eu assumi como presidente, encontrei uma FUNAI sucateada, desmontada, com servidores bastante depressivos. E para você fazer uma demarcação de uma terra indígena, você tem que ter bastante estrutura para dar andamento em todos os processos.
So when I joined as the president of FUNAI in the beginning of last year, I found a structure that was really depleted with lack of resources, lack of people's capacity to do things. So there's been a process of rebuilding that because, as you can imagine, to do that work, we need a lot of resources and a lot of capacity.
Mas nós não ficamos parados, ficamos animados, porque só de ver aquela imagem do Raoni segurando a minha mão, foi no dia, aqui no filme não contou isso para vocês, mas foi no dia que eu assinei o relatório de identificação onde o Raoni nasceu, que é a terra indígena Capote Ninhori, que estava parada há mais de 10 anos.
Wow. Yeah, Joenia is saying that we couldn't just stay still. We had a lot of work to do, so we started doing everything we could. So, for example, the image that we had of Joenia and Raoni holding hands, it was the day when the Capoto Jarina land where Raoni was born. After 10 years of waiting in the waiting list, she managed to get that signed and approved.
Então, as coisas estão andando, mas ainda tem muitos desafios e muito tempo. Nós temos mais de 500 pedidos para regularização de outras terras indígenas, a maior parte na Amazônia, que requer mais estrutura, recursos, decisões judiciais. Muitas das terras indígenas mal iniciaram o seu processo e outros terceiros que são interessados nos recursos naturais que as terras indígenas têm, ingressam nos tribunais para paralisar os processos.
Joanna is saying that they are doing a lot of work, but it does take time. So, for example, there are more than 500 lands and indigenous groups. They are trying to get their lands recognized. So the volume is very high, but there's also a lot of blockage from different people whose interest is, again, the demarcation of those lands. So it is a process that takes time, but they are doing everything they can to change it.
E para quem não conhece, fazer a demarcação de terras indígenas, conforme a lei no Brasil, são diferentes etapas e diferentes autoridades para confirmar, ratificar. Somente do ano passado para esse ano, o presidente Lula assinou 10 homologações, ou seja, quase no final do processo de regularização. A FUNAI, nós criamos mais de 38 grupos de identificação. Eu, como presidente da FUNAI, já iniciei 38 novos, mas está em andamento mais de 144 identificações de terras indígenas e já encaminhamos mais de 28 processos para o Ministério da Justiça fazer a demarcação, aliás, a declaração. Então, as coisas estão andando. Mas, da mesma forma que andam, vocês ouviram falar da questão de uma nova legislação que paralisou e que tenta paralisar os procedimentos, que é a Lei 14.701.
So Joanna was explaining to us that to create a new indigenous land, to officially demarcate, there are lots of different stages and judicial process that you have to go through. So she gave some examples of numbers of those stages of lands they have gone through. So, for example, there are about 10 that have gone really to the closest stage to demarcation. So they're nearly there. There were 38 of lands that... And Lula already demarcated 10. But yeah, exactly, she's explaining that it's a process that takes time, resources, and also she mentioned like the Congress has been really difficult and changing legislation and trying to block some of those approvals.
Mas o compromisso do governo Lula, assim como o meu, pessoalmente, como indígena, eu sei da importância da demarcação e nós temos todo o interesse de concluir essa demarcação para cumprir. Não somente é um compromisso, mas é uma obrigação não de governo, é uma obrigação de Estado e é um direito constitucional dos povos indígenas.
Joanna was saying that President Lula is really committed to doing this, and herself personally as an indigenous person is also really committed to doing this. And she's saying this is not just a commitment, this is an obligation for the government, and it is in our constitution. So they really want to get as much as possible done.
It is a national constitution to give this right for all indigenous people in Brazil. Just that.
You can say, hey, you go perfect. Obrigada, Joanna. Thank you very much. So this is our final question for our panelists. This is for Mindahi, Bastida. Mindahi, we saw in the film that really powerful gathering of indigenous peoples from all over the world. Can you explain to us a little bit more about the Alliance of Mother Nature's Guardians and also the work that you're doing with the Ego and Condor Council? Thank you.
Yes.
And if you keep it short, I know everybody is ready for a drink, but we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, thank you. This alliance is not just among indigenous peoples, or the so-called indigenous, or the natives. This alliance is with other allies. So for us, it's so important to come together. And we call about unification process. Unification process is to come together with like-minded and actions. Because we need to act in such a way that we also enjoy what we are doing. You know, we believe that we have a special mission as human beings. And the mission that we have is the care of life. But if you or your institution or your government or your acts are not protecting life, then you must reflect around your acts. Make the transition, slow down, stop and reverse all the damage that we have created to this beautiful planet that we call Mother Earth. So this general mission is very important because when we talk about land demarcation and we talk about self-determination and so on and so forth, we are talking about the care of life. And when we really take care of life, we can be happy. And happiness, we deserve it. But we deserve it in such a way that we have met our responsibilities. But now, you know, this way of doing, this way of acting, this way of even feeling is destroying Mother Earth. Why is important this alliance? Because we as original nations and peoples, we still have that sacred connection with nature, with the cosmos. And it's what we want to bring to you. So we can work together. And we say this is the time, and the time is now. Because we have this big opportunity. Of course, we are living very critical times. Things are worsening, but we can make it. We are late, but we can make it if we want. We are really late. So people, we need to stand up with this beautiful planet. This beautiful planet is teaching us, or we got to receive more lessons. So this is the time I really want to bring all the alliances. Beautiful people. We have here Julie Jackson with Grounded. We have other Ecocide. We are collaborating very close with Alliance, Gardens of Mother Nature. And I also represent the Grand Council of the Eagle and the Condor. And you know what? We are also acknowledging the native peoples of Europe. And we need to honor the elders in this continent as well. Why not? We need to come back and protect our home, protect life. Unity in the diversity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mengahi. Thank you. I agree we're late, but we also have time. So I would love to open to one final question from the audience, if anyone would like to.
And maybe the Brazilian ambassador would like to say something?
Thank you so much, and let me start by congratulating you for bringing us all together tonight to watch this very moving film. Congratulations to the authors, Her Royal Highness Esmeralda, for your love of Brazil and your commitment to the environment. This is London Climate Action Week. So we've had two governors from the Amazon, Rondônia and Acre. We've had debates, and one point that I often make is that we have all somehow embraced the concept of sustainability. But there are many paths to net zero, and not all of them reduce poverty, reduce hunger, promote social justice, or human rights oriented. So this is the equation that we would like to emphasize in Brazil as we chair the G20 this year and as we will host COP30 next year. I'd like to remind us all that in addition to the leadership of Joênia Wapichana, who is here with us tonight and so honored to be in her presence, President Lula has created a ministry for indigenous people, first time in our history, 500-year history, and this is the first time. So, you know, there's always hope. Sônia Guajajara, the minister, has been in England, London, and Oxford twice since I arrived about a year ago, attending to different invitations and spreading her message around the world. But human rights have come to the top of the agenda in Brazil. There's a ministry for gender equality, there's a ministry for racial equality, and there's an overall ministry for human rights headed by Afro-Brazilian, Silvio Almeida, who is himself a very inspiring personality. In addition, we have a minister for the environment who is herself from the Amazon region, Marina Silva, and a message that she often conveys, and I will repeat tonight, is that even when the time comes, and I hope it's soon, when not a single illegal logging, illegal logging in the Amazon has come to a complete halt, the Amazon will still be under threat by greenhouse gas emissions worldwide. And we could still reach a tipping point. So it's really a national, individual effort on the part of Brazilians, but it's also a collective responsibility that we're all responsible for. And finally, to mention that sometimes it's not that obvious how diplomacy can be of assistance in these kinds of issues, but we recently had a very significant achievement, in fact, in very strong coordination with the indigenous community of Brazil, which was reaching an agreement on a convention to protect genetic material and traditional knowledge at the World Intellectual Property Organization in Geneva. This was only 1 month ago, in May, and there had been a discussion on the terms of this convention for 25 years, and a lot of pressure from very powerful economic interests against it. I won't mention specific industries, but industries that are also very powerful in this country. So, diplomacy is also at work in trying to achieve what I think we're all gathered tonight to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I just want to end to just thank you all for coming, and I hope you are as inspired as I am after hearing from you all and after watching this powerful movie. So thank you, and thank you for producing such an amazing piece of art. Thank you.